Good morning, movers. Welcome back to Move Daily Fitness. My name's Tracy. Are you ready for an intense leg and plyo workout? Today we're going to train our muscles, but also our bones. So impact exercises are super for creating more osteoblasts within the bone and helping us increase or maintain our bone mineral density. So we're adding that today. I'll show some low impact modifications if you need. But the format for the workout is going to be in rep range today. We're gonna start with 15 reps of each exercise, then we're gonna drop to 8 reps. So a little heavier in the strength department, and then we'll do different rep amounts for our jumping. Okay, you're gonna require a variety of dumbbells for the workout, and here's what I have used. I want you to lift within your abilities. I'll also be using my bench or something stable to jump up on. If you don't have it, I can show you some modifications for that. Okay, we'll start you with a warm up, we'll end with a cool down. And I do have a nice little guide that I'd love to give you. It's a menopause strength training guide. We talk about bone a bit in there as well, but lots of ways to train in order to build muscle. Click or tap the card at the top of the screen or check in the description below for that free guide. All right, let's do this workout today and move daily. Honestly, you could put strength training or HIIT. It's gonna be a lot of strength training here, of course, with our heavier lifts. We're gonna start with a kneeling reverse lunge to warm up glutes. So you sit low into the glute and back up here. You can stretch through the hip flexor at the top. We're gonna do 6 per side. There's 2, low, and 3. Last one on this leg. You're sitting right into that glute cheek. All right, switching legs. And sit it back, low. And stretching the hip flexor. Two more here. Very nice. Okay, let's get down into this position here. If you can't get low into this squat position, just give me some squats from standing to squatting. We're warming up those inner thighs, the Achilles. Of course, we could also elevate heels to get down this low. That's an option. Oh yeah. We're gonna stand and squat, hands on the feet, and up and down for 8. Good, and 2. Three more here. Very nice, and drop into the world's greatest stretch here. Open, sink into that hip flexor, and switch. Oh yeah. Love it. My favorite, other side. And switch. Good, pop up. Let's do some front kicks. Alternate. And facing a wall, we're gonna swing lateral, flex the foot side to side. Last here, and 10 on the other leg. Oh, again, that does feel good as well, doesn't it? Make sure your foot is flexed so you don't clock the ground. That would hurt. Very nice. Plie. Right there. Four more here. And let's just do heel dig, sweeping the ground, and alternating. Good. Really stretching through that Achilles and your calf and hamstring. Two more here. And up to tiptoes. Let's just warm up the calves a bit more since they will be jumping and hopping. Two more. Very nice. Okay, we're starting with strength. We'll intermittently throw in some of those plyo moves. There's the first set. Here we go. Remember, we're starting with 15 reps just to warm things up. So let's go right into a goblet squat. I'm gonna hold my 20. Feet are shoulder width apart. We're dropping low into that goblet. Shoulders back and work for 15 reps. I'm at 10, 5 more here. And nice. Okay, into your stiff leg deadlift. I think I'll just grab that other 20, starting with 15 stiff leg deadlifts. The knees are soft, but the legs are straight. Hips go way back, back is flat. And 15 here. A little bit more hamstring focus here. There's 5, 10 more. Now I've got 5 more. Last here. Nice. Okay. Now we're going to move into our 3 working sets, dropping down to 8 reps each. So lift a weight that feels challenging at 8. Remember, you can have 1 to 3, 1 to 2 reps left in the tank, but we really want to challenge those muscles. So elevate the heels if you'd like, if it makes it easier for you to drop down lower. You'll hit a bit more quad with elevated heels, but if it's easier for you to get low, that's fine. I'm gonna start with my 35 pounds. Okay, use something to help you hoist it up. Get into a safe position. Push the floor apart with your feet and drop for 8. And there's 8. Not too shabby. Okay. Excellent. Thinking of my stiff leg deadlift. I will be using my barbell, not this round, but I'll just bring that closer. She'll be coming into the game in a moment. Okay, grabbing my 30s, stiff leg deadlift. Thinking hamstrings. And hinge when you're ready. Slow on the descent. Power up. Don't arch your back at the top. And there's 8. Lovely. Lovely, lovely. Okay. Whew. Good. Going into our 3rd set. Again, we're in that 8 rep range. But now you gotta ask yourself, did you have quite a bit left in the tank? If so, this is your chance to kick it up. Now, with instead of a goblet, you could hold 2 dumbbells on your shoulders if you don't have a heavy enough dumbbell. I'm gonna go up to my 50. Yeah, that's heavy, isn't it? I think I can. Okay, 8 reps. Okay, wow. Heavy. Heavy, and I've got an itchy knee underneath these tights. What I feel like doing is sticking my hand down there and giving it a good scratch, but I won't show you that. Excellent. Love that high heart rate just from weights. Okay, stiff leg deadlift. I will go with my barbell. This is close to 100 pounds for me. Of course, lift within your abilities. 8 reps here. Stiff leg deadlift and work. Eight. Nice. Okay. I'm just gonna grab, I have some 5-pound plates here. I'll use that for next time. Okay, a little rest for a second. We have 1 more set. I'm adding an additional 10 pounds onto my barbell. Recovering that breath, recovering those legs. This will be our last set here, and then we'll go into a jump protocol. It's recovering. I'm gonna go back up to that 50 pounds. I think that is really good for me. Definitely feels challenging. When you're ready, 8 reps. Okay, good. That was hard, doable, but challenging. Okay, 1 more with the stiff leg deadlift. It's a little recovery if you've lifted super heavy there. That heart rate is elevated quite a bit. Different muscles here, but we are using a bit of glute, of course, anytime we do a deadlift pattern. The RDL is far more bend, and you're pushing glutes forward, so it's more glute focused. The stiff leg deadlift is more hamstring focused. So let's go with this last one here, 8 reps. And hinge. And there's 8. Lovely. Okay, set that down. Whew. Nice little break here. And we're gonna move to a jumping protocol. Okay, I'm gonna do a broad jump, box jump. Okay, if you don't have a bench or you're not comfortable jumping on a bench, you could broad jump, squat jump, take a step back, or giant step, squat, land hard on the tiptoes to try and get some impact. That's the easiest version. Okay, catch your breath, join me back. Okay, we're hitting this for 8. Get ready, reach your hips back, big jump, up. Land hard, that's 1, let's go. Catch your breath, finish off. We're gonna go into some pogo hops in a moment here. Just catching the breath a bit. It usually elevates a little bit once you're done the activity. Okay, 2 sets, pogo hops. Jump on one leg for 12, then switch. You could high knee, try to hit the ground hard to modify. Here we go, right leg, let's hop. 1, 2, 3. And switch right here. 1, 2, 3. And switch. And switch. Okay, rest. We're gonna do that again. 2 more sets. Recover the breath. You could skip. Of course you could skip. That's fine, and do that pogo hop. Okay, second set, 12, 12, 12, 12. Here we go, and 1. And switch. And switch. And switch. Good, rest. 1 more set. Okay, catching breath. Same thing, 2 sets, starting with your right leg. Here we go for 12. And switch. And switch. And switch. Nice. 1 more set of our broad jump, box jump to finish off this plyo circuit. Step if you wish, otherwise, here we go. And last. Okay, whew. Excellent, that was fun. Catch your breath. Take a look at the screen, and there's our next 15 reps, then 3 sets of 8. Draw me back. I'm gonna start with a dip step up. low, and drive. If you don't have something to step up on, feel free to use a small step, a yoga block if you feel stable enough, and you can hit that with that little bit of a deficit there. Okay, so you can do that instead. So I'm gonna start with no weight for my warm-up round, 15 per leg. Get ready. Here we go. So you're a low lift, 2, good, and 3. I'm at 10, 5 more on this leg. Here's my 15, switch, and work.
Falling out, getting too close, but wouldn't stand letting you go.
I'm at 10, 5 more on this leg. I think this will be the hardest set, folks. This is hard. One more. You might be like, why the deficit? Think how much more stretch you get on the glute when it's in this position versus this position. It just lengthens, which allows those muscle fibers to recruit, push the body up. Into your plie, little inner thigh and glute combo here. I'm gonna hold a 35. You're here, knees are out over the toes. Roll your shoulders back. Let's drop for 15. Low, squeeze, 2. Last for me. There we go. Okay. A little rest before our 3 hard working sets of 8 reps. Nice. Now, you can add some weight to your reverse lunge, deficit reverse lunge, or your dip step up. This is hard. I'm gonna start by adding 10 pounds each hand. So I'm adding 20 in total. A 20-pound bar on the shoulders would work here too. Please tell me you're out of breath. Legs feel ready. This heart rate's up a bit. Okay, up on the shoulders or down by the sides. You've got 8 per leg. Here we go. Dip and drive. Control your down. There's my 8, switching sides. Last for me, Mama Sita, Holy Hannah. Okay. Rest. Oh. Okay. I mean, it was hard. Did I have some left in the tank? Yes. So I will go up to the 12s next round. Heart rate's ticking. Just resting for a second, then I'm gonna go up to my 40. For my plie, actually I think I'll go right to my 50, because if you're marking your weights down, you'll know, Tracy, that you've done 50 for 8 reps before. Quite nicely. I'm gonna hold mine sideways though, which is fine if your dumbbell is hitting the ground. Knees out over toe, shoulders back, engage the core, drop, and 8. Nice. Okay, get out of this. I'll set that guy over there. Nice. Now we're in our 3rd set. I'm not gonna go quite yet, but I'll just get my dumbbells situated. We're moving into a little heavier weights. If you can, if you had more than 3 or 4 reps left in the tank, you gotta kick it up a bit if you can, if you have access to those weights. Increasing reps is also an option if you don't have the heavier weight amount, right? As long as you're challenging your muscles. Okie dokie. Set 3, holding 12s, and 8 per leg. Dip and drive. There's 8, switch. Last for me. That side's harder. I always save it for the last, but I do find myself wanting to throw the dumbbells forward to help me. I gotta try not to do that. Okay, let's go into our plie. I'm gonna hold that sideways. 8 right here, I'm holding the 50 again. Nice. I feel like I gotta turn my feet out just a bit more. It's easy to let them come in a bit, which would be more sumo squat. But it really is that position here. It's hard if you don't have that flexibility. Last set. I think I'll go up to my 15s on my dip step. Now, if you're just doing a reverse lunge, you'd likely be able to go up higher. We're using quite a bit of body weight with a higher elevation, of course. All right, get yourself ready. Let's knock out this last round. Set 4, holding 15s. I'm gonna take a rest in between. Just allow my heart rate for a second. That's tremendous, isn't it? Other side, 8 here. Eight. Crazy. Okay, rest. Finishing with the plie in a second. Holy. 151 on the heart rate. I knew it was up there. All right. Holding a 50. Let's try to get really good form here. And 8. There's 8. Okay. Tremendous. We're gonna go into a depth drop next. Okay, so I'm gonna use like this is more 12, 13 inches. This is more 18. So I'm gonna use this. We'll do a slow stretch and then both feet land into a low squat position. And then we hit the broad jump. Now, modification would be come up to the tiptoes, forward fall lean, and then we're gonna stick a lunge landing. Watch this. Tiptoes, stick it. Okay, tiptoes, other leg, stick it. Hold the pause. Okay, do that for as long as we do the depth jumps here. Or of course you could use a small step or riser, the bottom stair if you don't want something so high. Okay, so we're up on our step. Foot is out. We're gonna do 8 in total. I'll do 4 each leg with an alternating pattern. So low, both, instant jump. So we want to explode as soon as we land. There's 1. Other side. You got it? Do the modification if you need. Four more for me. Last for me. Nice, recover. Okay, now we've got 2 sets of side to side hops on the bench. If you have one, if you don't, you're gonna be here, tap, tap, tap. Okay, we'll do that 16 in total, 8 per side, and then switch legs. Little sip, do you need? Little recovery. Whew. Okay, only do it on the bench if you've done it on a bench before. It's a big learning curve and it's a lot of mobility required on the hips. Otherwise, choose the floor. Okay, here we go. 16 in total. So you're 1, 2, kick your butt with your foot. There's 8, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, quads. Okay, not a super plyometric move, but impact on the 1 foot. Switch legs, 16. 1, 2. There's 8. And 16. Okay, nice work. Shake that out. And we'll go into one more set. We're gonna do the depth drops again. From high or from low, or a broad jump is fine too. Here we go. Four more for me. Catch your breath. We'll go back to the side to side. Heart rate. Okay. Let's go. 16 per leg and work. There's 8 more. Switch legs and work. There's 8. Wowza. Okay, nice work. That looked good. Walk it out, catch your breath. Join me back. Final little superset here. We're gonna start with front lunges. And right now with the 15 reps, I think we'll alternate for 30 in total here. I'm gonna hold 15s and then we'll go into single side when we drop to our 8 rep range. So holding 15s, nice and tall. We're gonna alternate that front lunge, 30 in total. Here we go. 1. You can tap the ground with a knee or not, whatever's best for you. There's 10, 20 more. Walking lunges are fine here too. So good for your quads, folks. A static lunge is an option if you can't front lunge. All right, you're halfway. You've got 15 more now. Last 5. Yes, it's work, I know, me too. Me too, 3 more, let's go. Okay, that's the high volume, lighter weight, but still challenging the muscles toward failure. So, that was heavy. Little rest for a second. We'll move into the sumo squat. We're gonna stay in the center here. I'm not gonna straighten my legs out. I wanna keep tension on my glutes. So we'll stay in the pocket for 15. I'll hold 20 pounds to start. You've got a wide stance. Feet are slightly turned out, but not like what we did in the plie. Roll the shoulders back. Let's drop for 15. Holding at 20, and 2, 3, that's it. There's 10, 5 more. And 15. I probably lifted too light, but I was a little fatigued after the front lunge, so we'll kick that up. Okay, 3 working sets. We're moving into our 8 rep range. Okay, well, this is a tremendous workout, isn't it? She's tremendous. Now I'm gonna move to 8 per leg. I'm gonna hold my 20s. Same side, 8 front lunges. Here we go. Same side. Switch legs, 8 here. Wow. What is she doing to us? I ask myself. Okay, I'm gonna pop up weight to the 35. 8 reps here, hitting that sumo, nice and wide, nice and low. 8. Rep range far too low for that weight for me. I guess we're going up to 50, which I figured. Rest. Set 3 coming next. Good. Little recovery here. It's not nothing. Okay, set 3, holding 20s, 8 per side. Switching legs. Okay, that was hard. My one leg a little bit weaker, so I'm definitely not gonna go up on my next set. That was hard enough. I was almost at failure. So that's good. You got your this guy, Sumo. I'll go up to that 50. Okay, come here. You could hold 2 dumbbells together. Make sure your back is flat. 8 right here. That's better weight, way better. One more, you guys. You're doing so well. One more and then we're done. No more plyo. Don't worry. Okay, ready? I just feel like I want to knock it out now. Fourth set, holding 20s again, 8 per side. Let's go. Switch. Mama. Ugh. Okay, that was hard to get through, but I did it. Finishing with the sumo. It's hard for me too, folks. We are working to stay in the pocket, not only physically, but mentally. Talk yourself in, don't talk yourself out. Let's go. Last sumo with my 50. 8 reps here. Engage those abs. 8. Last 3, 2, 1 and done. You have moved daily. Oh, thank the Lord. It's over. Mercy in the middle. That was tough. It was a very tough mental one for me at the end there. Those front lunges, I'm like, yeah, you don't want to do it. But we did it. And we did something that was hard and maintained presence in a difficult thing. That is awesome. Okay, join for a stretch if you can. Don't forget to check the description below. I've got lots of free handouts, including my brand new strength training in menopause. So check that out in the description below. Join for a stretch. You've earned it. Let's lie on our backs. Oh, I'm gonna come up to my bench. You could use a wall or a couch or chair. Put one foot there. Cross over if you have that flexibility. Otherwise, don't use it. And I'm gonna gently press away. Excuse me. Just increasing the stretch in the glute. That was hard. That was, like I said, I was just thinking about my 2 sort of illustrations that I use for when things are really challenging, switch sides. One is the puzzle illustration, because I'm into puzzling right now, and there are parts where I'm like, my son is cute. He comes up to help and he's like, I hate this. And I'm like, oh, I know. Because you're trying to get it and he's like pushing the piece to try and get it in and it won't fit. And it's really cute. But but I know the angst, the frustration you can feel when you're in the middle of something and it's not progressing. Let's go into hamstring stretch here. It's just very challenging and you have to talk yourself in instead of talking yourself out. And it is so easy to talk yourself out of something. I don't need to do this. I worked out yesterday. I don't need to, make this wise choice in my nutrition because I can do it tomorrow, or I'm fine with where I'm at. Actually, switch sides. One of my members, or maybe she's a March Meltoy member. Anyway, she emailed us and basically told us this story of, she would just make every excuse in the book for herself. She would just say, like, I'm fine. I'm good with where I'm at. I'm better than, a lot of people around me. I'm doing fine. But yet, her visceral fat was up. She had close to metabolic disease. Let's let those knees fall to one side. And so it was easy for her to just make excuses to stay on the couch and not do something. But she's like, at the end of the day, it was only me against me. Like, I was the only one that could make this change for myself. And it is so true when it comes down to it. Other people can rah-rah you for a few days or moments or maybe even a month, and you might feel motivated by that external environment. But switch sides, it's the internal dialogue that is so crucial, right? That talking ourselves out of things, giving ourselves the out, the excuse when we say what we want, but we don't follow through. Because there's the rub, there's the uncomfortable point. My second illustration, so that was my first one with the puzzle. The second one, let's go into quad stretch here, is I know a lot of you know this because I did a podcast on it, but I did a therapeutic psilocybin session once a number of years ago. And it's where you explore, you know, your inner child and so on and so forth. Anyway, one of the things that was super noticeable for me is, like, I always have very hot quads, thighs. At night, I have to sleep with no blanket on my thighs specifically. It's weird. I don't know why, but they're always very hot. Anyway, during the session, the therapeutic session, I felt very uncomfortable in my thighs, in my quads, switch sides, like so uncomfortable. And I'm just like, I wanted to quit. I wanted to sit up, take my eye shade off and just be done with the whole thing. But I knew that I had to go through it because my bent is to get out of uncomfortable situations, is to run away or not be present in things that are challenging for me, especially psychologically or, you know, relationally. So I knew it was a lesson of me moving through the uncomfortable moments and then relying on what I had inside of myself to give me what I needed in that uncomfortable spot. And that was cross over, reach up, and hinge forward here. My breath. Stay in the body, stay present, don't get in the mind, stay in the body and talk yourself in. You can endure. This is my in breath, this is my out breath. That's a Sarah Blondin quote there. And so I had that. I had the ability to call on my wise self, switch sides here, hinge forward. So what would my wise self do? What would my, you know, the girl with all the wisdom, with all of the knowledge, with all of the kindness and compassion and curiosity, what would she say right now? And then also to know that all of my parts, even the parts that want to run away when it's uncomfortable, they're welcome. All parts are welcome. And so when I'm in an uncomfortable situation, things that I don't want to deal with, right here, be it physically, be it emotionally or relationally, that's what I draw on. That's what I have to bring back to my center and recognize that that wise self is in there. She just needs a voice. Right? And the parts that want to escape, they're welcome. And I just need to stay in the moment and stay present even when it's challenging because I know from previous episodes, I'll make it through. And yeah, that's been revolutionary in my thinking. So I hope that helps someone today. Thanks for joining, everyone. Thanks for doing that plyo with me. I'm not sure I would have without you. We'll see you all in the next one.